Hi everyone, and welcome to another video where I spill the tea on a tarot deck. My name is Debbie and I am from Spill the Tea Leaf Readings and more. If you'd like to get a reading with me, you can email me at info@spillthetealeaf.com. And right now I am going to show you a tarot deck that I am very excited about. I am still making my way through the guidebook, which I like to do before I do a deck interview. So I haven't even used this deck yet, but I discovered this deck while listening to a 90s podcast that was interviewing Rachel True, who many of us who grew up in the 90s know from The Craft. And what I didn't know was that before she got cast, she was already reading tarot cards and more recently created her own deck and guidebook. So I, of course, had to buy this for myself. And I've actually had this deck for a few months now, but it's been busy. You all know how that is, right? So I'm just getting around to this now. So I've only looked at this deck a couple of times. And as I said, I haven't used it yet, but I am looking forward to being able to finally finish reading the guidebook and actually use it soon as well. But let's get started looking at it. So this box is too big for my camera to show you the way I would like, but it is cardboard. It is big, but it's the nice kind of cardboard. It's not, the greatest box. It doesn't hold the cards as well as I'd like, but it's good enough for now. I just don't know that I would want to, carry it around with me. Let's see. So there's Rachel True. And a little biography. Sorry, I can't do a better job of showing this box to you. But, you can always buy it for yourself and look at it all you want. So you can clearly see there's guidebook, and as usual, we will get to that towards the end of the video, but I'm going to start with the major arcana cards as usual. So these are very much, like Rider-Waite-Smith. Rachel True is certainly familiar with that system and also has read a lot of Jungian psychology, so this is also infused with her knowledge of that. This deck is also more inclusive, but it's not dissimilar from what we're used to with tarot cards. That's cool, right? The cards are very thick, so I thought I missed one. And although these cards are thick, they don't feel like they're going to be hard to shuffle. I haven't shuffled them yet because I like to keep them in order until I'm ready to use them, especially if I do a deck interview. Sometimes I do them by suits, so having them separated like this is far easier than shuffling them right when I get them and then having to resort them. All right, so here are discs instead of pentacles or coins. And you can see these are a little bit different, some of them. But they still have, for the most part, maybe not this one so much, that feel that you get from RWS tarot cards. So here we have Princess, Prince, Queen, and King. So it is worth pointing out there's no page or knight in this system, in this particular deck. Here are cups. Again, much more inclusive. Different, but not so different. I really like this one. I feel like that gets the point across better than some other decks. I shouldn't say point, I should say meaning. Gets the meaning across. Swords. So unlike most Three of Swords, this one is dripping blood, which I feel like makes this Three of Swords more severe than I would normally read it. And I just want to point that out because, of course, if you're using your intuition, as you should when reading these, every deck you're going to get a little bit of a different vibe from. So certainly, you know, if you see something different like that, it can change the meaning and the outcome of a reading as a whole. That's pretty much the same, though. And finally, Wands. These ones, I would say, are more different overall than the other suits in Major Arcana that we've looked at so far. All right, so those are the cards. Now this guidebook is the same size as the box. It's going to be a little bit hard for me to show this to you well, and it is shiny as well, which of course doesn't help. More information about Rachel True on here, no picture though. But you can see how thick this book is. So there's a lot of information in here. Table of contents. Her introduction is a few pages long. She has a section on getting started, which talks about tapping into your intuition and how to do that for anyone who maybe isn't used to it. Origins of tarot under backstory. How to choose a deck, care and feeding of your deck. I think you can also buy this guidebook separate from the deck and the deck separate from the guidebook. So you could get this guidebook and have to choose a deck and not use the deck that it came with. Well, because you could get it without the deck is my point. So you could use it with any deck. And because of that, you don't feel like you have to use this guidebook specifically with this deck, even though I got them together because you know I love a guidebook. Setting up an altar, keeping, you know, a journal. I love that she uses her experience here connecting to your tarot cards using the actor's way. And that's where I actually stopped reading the guidebook because I was like, I need time to like take this in as an actor and a director myself. It was really important to me that I take a moment, and I haven't had a chance to get back yet. But I'd rather have time to really dig into it and be able to remember it than to not, and to just skim it. So here she is getting into the cards a little bit more, reading reversals or low vibes, as she calls them, and she talks about that. She talks about shuffling, pulling clarifying cards, reading for other people. And then she has the tarot spreads before she gets into the cards themselves. So she has one card daily pull, question spreads. These ones are pretty basic. Past, present, future, the Celtic cross. So we know those already. 11 card mother peace spread. I know it's shiny. I'm sorry you can't really see this very well, which is very cool. It's 11 cards too, and she goes into detail about it, which is really neat. 10 card relationship snapshot, True Heart 5 card insight. So we have some really good spreads to try to use, and she does do a good job of explaining those and giving examples. And then we get to the cards. So for the major arcana, we have a full page with the picture, the high vibe and low vibe, and then an explanation. And it actually goes into more than just that one page that you saw. This one happens to be 3 pages. And more explanation if pulled in a low vibe. The Magician is actually even a little bit longer, as is, a lot of these cards are longer actually. So, I don't know, I'll just show you some random cards. For Strength. See, that one's really long. Hermit. So, there's a lot of good information here that you can use with this deck or with any tarot deck, which is really neat. I'm going to just go straight to the minor arcana. So each minor arcana does get 1 page only. There is a smaller picture. Again, you have high vibe, low vibe, information, and then if pulled in low vibe. So she's not just telling you what the reverse meaning is, she's actually telling you how to read the specific card in a low vibe, which is really cool. And I like, a lot of people think of reversals as negatives. And so it's nice that she has sort of renamed it and is making it clear that that's not what it is. So again, just showing you some random pages here so you get the idea. And then that's it. The last page is the King of Discs. And that's that. So this is the deck. Again, I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I bought it based on the actor and her experiences and what she was saying in this interview I heard about the deck. And honestly, I'm just a huge fan of the craft. Look, I'm not going to lie. If you were a huge fan of the craft, wouldn't you buy this deck too? Or at least want to? In terms of the artwork, it's not necessarily something that I would jump to normally, but it's not that I don't like it. It's just not something that necessarily calls to me. I think it'll be easy to shuffle. Only time will tell. But I'm excited to learn more about this deck and to start using it. And I hope that this video has helped you learn a little bit more about this deck as well. So thank you for watching. Again, my name is Debbie and I am from Spill the Tea Leaf Readings and More. If you're interested in getting a tarot reading with this deck or another, please let me know. You can email me at info@spillthetealeaf.com. I also read tea leaves, and I do all of this both virtually and in person. And you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and please don't forget to hit subscribe. I am hoping that I have more time to make more content soon, so if you haven't subscribed, now is the time to do it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really thank you for taking the time, and I hope you have a great day.